low energy days or high energy days. If you're having a very low energy day, this first part of standing, you can lie down and press your feet against the wall. So you can feel samastiti in your feet, but your body is not having to deal with the demands of gravity. So as always, whichever position your body is in, just notice. As you become more aware of your body and what's happening within it, take a moment also to notice, where are you in your day? Are you just starting the day? Is there a busy day ahead of you? Is it the end of your day? What's happened during the day? So that you become a little curious about the relationship between this moment and the energy and what you observe and what's been happening in the world around you. And so we begin with accepting the body where it is and moving from that point. Either standing or lying down, we're going to move the arms in the same way. So each breath, we're going to lift the hands a little bit higher on inhale. On exhale, bring the hands back to the body. So if you're lying on the floor, bring the hands to the front of the body. Inhale, open. If you're standing, if you like, you can exhale, bring the back side of the hands to the low back. Inhale a little bit higher each time. Remember samastiti in the feet, active, strong legs, sternum lifted, even when the hands come down. Each breath. Finding the rhythm of your own breath, so it doesn't have to match mine. If you're looking at my image, you might notice there's a little movement of the head happening here. And what I'm doing is I'm just dropping the chin as the hands come down. Inhale, lifting the chin, looking up towards the sky. So the head movement is not huge. I'm not going way down or way up, just a little bit of moving the chin. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And if at any point you're feeling pain in the shoulders, please just move only as much as you need to not go into the pain. So if you're having impingement in the rotator cuff, you might find that the hands only go up a little bit, or even some days where the hands just turn out just a little bit. This was my practice for a long time when I was injured. Good. And then eventually just relax, move the shoulders a little bit. And so now we're going to create this spiral with the arm again. So we open the arms out, palms of the hands facing up. Keep the upper arms in the same position, just rotate the hands down and then extend through the fingers. And here's a tip for hypermobile elbow people. If you create this spiral, it's a little harder to hyperextend through the elbows. I mean, if you're good, you can really do it, but it's a little bit harder. It creates a little resistance for that natural tendency to hyperextend. And that helps to build a three-dimensional awareness of your position of your arm in space. And then we're going to drop the elbows, keep the palms of the hands down. Keep the sternum lifted, so notice what's happening in your upper back. And then we're going to push on an imaginary wall. Extend the arms forward. And now notice what's happening in your upper back, behind the neck, behind the rib cage, what's happening between the shoulder blades. And then release the hands. And then we're going to come back to the wall like we did in the first yoga snack with the shoulders. So create the spiral, open the arms, palms of the hands down, elbows to the side, palms forward, and now extend. And if you can touch the palms of the hands or the fingertips if that's more appropriate for your wrists. And if none of those are appropriate, if the hands and wrists have no desire to hold weight, then just come with the forearms. This is another great option. So we're basically doing a sideways plank here. Arms straight or arms bent. And all we're going to do is we're going to push that wall away from us. Take an inhale here. Exhale, look to the right. Inhale, look center. Exhale, look to the left. Inhale, look right to the center. Exhale, look right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. One more time, each side. And left side. Come to the center. Relax the arms a moment, pause. And then we're going to come back to that same position, whether it's on the forearms or on the hands. So open the arms, create your spiral, elbows to the side, push the hands forward. And so now you're going to bend one elbow and you're going to push with the other arm. So I'm bending my right elbow down, pushing the left shoulder away from the wall. And just notice what you feel sort of in the shoulder joint and behind the shoulder that's pushing. And then maybe play with the head position here. You can turn the head to the right, turn the head to the left. Just notice the connection. And then eventually we're going to extend the bent arm and switch sides. So now bend the other arm and push away. So there's really very little weight on this bent arm here, and this arm is pushing away. So it depends on what's happening with your shoulders, how much weight you can push here. But push, push, push. Remember, samastiti in the feet, strong legs. Play with the head position. Come back to the center. If it's okay for the shoulder joints, we're just going to step back, drop the head down between the arms. So extend both arms, put the head between the arms, back up enough so that your butt can stick out behind you. The back is relatively flat. Come back up. Just stay here a moment with the arms extended. And then if it's okay, go one more time back down. Head between the arms. So this position is an adaptation of downward facing dog, actually. Come back up. Release the hands from the wall and just shake them out a little bit. We can do a little bit of this movement of the wrist, of the fingers, if your wrist needs that, or make some fists. And then one more position. So we're going to take the palms of the hands together. And then just see what happens if we push the palms of the hands together. Again, keep the posture. Supergirl legs, samastiti feet. Push, 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 release. We'll do 2 more rounds like that. Push, 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 maybe 5 to 6 breaths. Release. And then we'll do 1 more round, pushing. Lightness in the jaw, in the face, in the breath. Strong arms, light heart. And then release it. So we're going to do some movement. We're going to do one more movement standing, where we're going to bring the head down towards the feet. If it's a low blood pressure day, low energy day, please do this one seated. Otherwise, if the energy's there, you can do it from standing. So see where you are. So the way this will look on a chair, I'll do it first on a chair. So remember, when we were standing, we did this position where we swept the arms up and then take the hands to the low back. So we're going to do that same movement, but we're going to do one at a time. And then if you're sitting in a chair, you're going to take the feet in front of the knees a little bit. So it's not 90 degrees, it's a little bit more. So standing people can do this standing. Seated people can do it this way. So the inhale, we're going to move one arm. So inhale, one arm out to the side. And as we exhale, we're going to come towards the floor. So if this is too strong for the back, just keep the hand here. Otherwise, keep the hand forward. Touch the floor. Let the head relax, the neck long. Inhale up. Exhale, take the hand back to the beginning. Now we're going to switch sides. Other arm comes up. Inhale. Exhale, touch the floor. Let the head hang, neck relax. Inhale, reach the arm up, almost like that arm is lifting your body up. Sweep the hand back. Switch sides. So going down with one arm. Come up. Just to remind you from our other yoga snacks, exhale the hand down. Don't forget this idea of a soccer ball here in the low belly as we move forward. So inhale, the arm will come up. Moving forward over that soccer ball as we come down towards the floor. As we come up, inhale, lift the arm. Let the soccer ball drop. Exhale, hand to the low back. One more time each side. So one arm comes up, down, engage that low belly, all the way up. One more round. And back down. Release the arms, pause a moment. And then we're going to come towards the floor. And with the floor, we're going to have to see sort of how, I think I can do this from here. We'll see how it fits for your body. So first question is, can you comfortably bear weight on your knees? And can you comfortably go onto all fours with weight on the hands? So if that's a yes to those two questions, then you can come into this position, hands and knees. If it is not okay for your wrists or your hands, you can adapt with something like this. So you can rest the forearms, so the hands are just hanging now. And so all we're doing at first is just Feeling the spine and neck. And for those of you who can't come onto the knees, turn around and lie on your back and hug the knees in. So that's a very similar position to what we're doing. So if you can bear weight, or if you can rest the forearms and the knees are okay, then you can go back into a childlike position. So for some of us, it may not be okay to go all the way back with the hips on the heels. Maybe it's better just to go part way back and then come up. So for those of you on the hands and knees, the movement looks like this. Exhaling as you move back, inhaling as you move up. If you're a person who needs to not have weight on the knees, the movement is very similar. Hands on the knees. Exhale, knees come towards you. Inhale, knees away. So the idea is that your low back in particular is getting a little bit of movement, a little bit of lengthening, releasing. And the idea here is when you come up, there's a little bit of an arch in the back. And as you move down, the back flattens and lengthens. So just kind of saying hello to the low back, looking if there's any tightness. Okay. Good. And then we're going to come to lying on the belly. And so we have a couple of arm positions here. So you can take the forehead to the floor, or you can turn it to the side, whichever feels best for you. You can keep your hands kind of next to where your head is, elbows on the floor. If you want to feel a little bit stronger muscular development for the upper back, you can take the palms of the hands close to the rib cage. This will require some flexion of the wrist. So see how that feels. If it feels okay to put the palms of the hands on the floor and the elbows up, you can keep the hands like this. Otherwise, keep the elbows down. And so all we're going to do is keep the feet relatively close together here. And then on inhale, lift the head, lift the sternum away from the floor. Imagine you're going to try to bring your heart to the wall in front of you. And then exhale, come down. And then inhale. When you come up, pull your hands back a little bit. Imagine like a gecko trying to climb the wall, almost like if there was no carpet here, I could slide my body forward as I come up. And then as you come down, release. As you inhale, head, chest, gecko hands pulling, that little pull back will sort of activate a little bit between the shoulder blades and the middle back. And as you release, come down. Notice what you feel in the back, so the upper back, the mid back, and the low back. And then we're going to do a little change. Take the feet about 10 centimeters apart, 10, 15 centimeters apart. And then 2 times up and down. Just notice if you feel any difference in your back here. Gecko hands as you come up and back down. And then after that, let's open the feet even wider apart. If you're getting, so foot cramps are pretty common for us hypermobile people. If you're feeling foot cramps, feel free to just flex the feet, put the feet on the ground. Inhale. Back down. Good. So just a couple times. And then if you can bring the feet even wider apart. So each time we do this, just notice what you feel. You might notice if the feet are wider apart, it's a little easier to come up higher. We don't have to come up super high here. Just think like you're trying to bring your heart in front of you. We don't have to be a contortionist in this posture. We don't have to try to bring the head back. Think of bringing the head forward and up, chest forward and up. And then release the position. Pause a moment if that feels okay for your body. You can either push back, come into a childlike posture so that the position of the low back reverses, or if you like, come onto the back and maybe hug one side. Take the hands under the knee. Bring one knee towards you. At the same time, stretch one leg on the ground. And while you have your leg here, maybe just a couple times, inhale, extend the leg, flex the foot. Exhale, bend the knee, relax the foot. So this is a good little counter pose to add, especially if you're getting foot cramps from the pointed foot position. So you can flex here and release. And then try the other leg. Bring the hands behind the knee. If you can stretch out the other leg. And then inhale, extend. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the leg towards you. And then bring the soles of both feet to the floor for a moment. Pause and feel your body. And then inhale, we're just going to slowly lift the hips towards the ceiling as much as feels comfortable for you. So you don't have to go super high. Keep the feet in samasthiti. And as you exhale, you're going to slowly come back down, one vertebra at a time. And then we're going to do that same movement with the body, but this time we're going to sweep the arms out to the side, like we did when we were standing, except now we're on the floor and we're lifting the body up. And exhale, slowly come down, sweep the arms down on the floor at the same time, lower the vertebra down, one at a time. So inhale, sweeping up. If you like, as you exhale and come down, you can let your head roll to one side, so letting the head turn. But when you inhale, the nose is pointed towards the ceiling. Exhale, you can turn your head in the opposite direction. And each time you come up, the head turns. The nose is pointing upward. And each time you come down, let the head turn. And just do that a few breaths. And then when you feel ready, come back to the center. If you can, bring both knees up, one hand on each knee. And so one way we practice this position is to bring the knees together, like towards us. So we're going to change this a little bit. We're going to bring one knee towards us and the other knee away until this hand, so hand is like glued on top of the knee. So let the knee move away until this arm is straight. This hand pulls this knee towards us. And whichever arm is straight, turn your head so that you're looking away from that arm. And then you're going to inhale, switch the position of the legs, and turn your head to the other side. So if your right arm is straight and moving away, your head is turned to the left, and vice versa. With the breath, just continue breathing slowly and deeply. And this is just a simple posture I put in here because, just because we're hypermobile doesn't mean we don't have any tightness. And it's often the case that when we're having some instability in the shoulders, the smaller muscles, particularly around the neck, can try to compensate and sometimes get a little tight. And so this is a way, as we look away from the straightened arm, we're just lengthening the small scalenes along the sides of the neck towards the clavicle there. So just notice if you find anything interesting in there. And then finally, one last posture for this little yoga snack. We'll bring the feet together, bring the ankles together, bring the knees together. And very simply inhale, open the knees out to the side as much as is comfortable for your body. And then slowly, slowly, as you exhale, activate the pelvic floor. And slowly bring the knees together. So this position can allow us to focus on this anatomy of breath we spoke about. So inhale, letting the rib cage activate and lift, letting the organs move out of the way, the belly lifts, even the pelvic floor can relax. And then we engage the inner thighs. As we exhale, pelvic floor comes towards the heart, transverse abdominis comes together, the rib cage closes. Inhale, open. Exhale, knees together. Pelvic floor. For those of you who like images, there's this image of a center channel from the crown of the head. Inhale, moving through the center of the body all the way to the pelvic floor as you open the knees. As you exhale, bring the knees together, activate the pelvic floor, sending energy up through the center channel, all the way out the crown of the head. So depending on what kind of mind you have, find a way to just focus your attention on this directional movement of breath. And then finally, just pause for a moment. You can let the legs be straight if that feels okay for your body. Otherwise, keep the knees bent, keep the soles of the feet on the floor. Just feel the body. So this will complete the yoga snack. And if you want to rest your body a little bit longer, rest your body.